Hi friends, Kimberley here. Welcome to this week's Ascension Teachings Talk, where I talk about themes that is brought up in the daily messages over the week that you see on the Beings of the Light with Kimberley Facebook communities. All right, so today I want to talk to you about how everything in your reality is happening for you. And behind all aspects of your reality are teachers. It could be a condition. It could be a person in your life who is not overtly a teacher, but they are playing that role unconsciously for you to shine light on limiting beliefs that you may have, to shine light of aspects within yourself that is in your blind spot of awareness. This could be your husband, could be your friends, it could be what you perceive to be an enemy. All these people that are in your life, if they trigger you, then they become an unconscious teacher for you. They become an unconscious mirror in physical form, reflecting to you a limiting belief that you have about yourself or about the world. It's all here to assist you to remember who you truly are. That is a divine being of love. In physical reality, you express that as a being of unconditional love and acceptance. So what is that? That is to be in a perspective of accepting all conditions. You don't have to agree with certain things, but it's about being in acceptance of it. Because once you can be in acceptance of it, you are then vibrating in that state of neutrality. You are not seeing things as wrong or right. You're seeing it for what it is. When you have fear, what happens when you see the world through fear, when you have these limiting beliefs within you that become triggered by conditions in your reality? Could be an event in your life that triggers a negative emotion. It could be someone in your life that elicits this negative emotion. What that means is that you have a limiting belief within you that makes you see the world through a different light. When you are in fear, it's like you have this lens, and it's a distorted lens, and you look out through this distorted lens, and this gives you a certain perspective of physical reality and you and all others in it. But who you truly are is love. Now, fear is also for us. Fear is not unwanted. It's how we perceive fear. Often we are fearful of the emotion of fear, and we become defensive, and we do everything that we can so we don't feel that feeling of fear. But fear is a catalyst. It helps us to move, helps us to catalyze us, and helps us to go inwards, and gives us that drive to discover who we truly are, and to remember our life purpose. So it's about making friends with fear, not being scared of fear, but seeing it for what it is. It is a polarity. It is a system that we have chosen to explore life through. And without this polarity, we wouldn't create things. We wouldn't have the desire to go inwards, to discover and find our power. You see, it's a catalyst for us, for our expansion, not just for our own perceived individual life and consciousness. It's for the whole collective and all that is. It is a very advanced system. And many of us, we see fear-based things, fear-based emotions as unwanted. It's just how we perceive that. And once you can make friends with fear, what happens is that you don't suffer when you have fear. You don't suffer when you have a negative emotion. Instead, it becomes a teacher to you. It becomes clues to you. Clues that relates to something within you that you have not shine light on, that is something within you that you're not aware of in your unconscious. So basically, the non-physical works through the physical, but it's presented in your reality, whether it's conditions, events that trigger a negative emotion, or whether it's physical people in your life. It's basically like their higher selves, working with your higher selves. They're reacting with this fear because they're reflecting to you. It is an unconscious mirror. They're reflecting back your vibration. They're reflecting back your limiting belief. They become then an unconscious teacher. Yes. So whenever you have a negative emotion that arises from any condition in your life or from any other, then, you can use that. You can have awareness in that moment that this is for you. And once you can start having that perspective that everything is for you, you start being able to live life in a more free way. You then embrace more of your life because you are no longer scared of fear. And then you can turn that around and actually kind of want to have these fears being triggered within you, because you know it's going to allow you to go further inwards. It's going to allow you to further awaken to who you truly are. It's going to assist you on your spiritual journey to become even more powerful, even more rare. This is how you awaken. This is how you remember your power and your life purpose here. So it's not about being scared of fear. It's not about being limited by fear and not taking certain actions because you are fearful of a very emotional fear. It is about pushing past the fear. It is about acknowledging that fear is for you. And yes, there are different types of fear. There is a fear that becomes triggered by this emotion of fear is any kind of a negative emotion, and behind that is negative thoughts, and that aligns to, we would say, negative limiting belief systems. We have been conditioned since we were born to have certain belief systems, and some of these belief systems empower us and some of them disempower us. Being now in a time of great awakening, it is about unlearning these limiting beliefs about us and about the world. And as you do this, as you go within and look at these limiting beliefs that cause you suffering, you also rise your perspective of who you are. So in this journey, when you do your inner work, your soul work, your shadow work, you also need to rise your perspective of who you are. You see yourself as a limited being, but you are not. You are truly powerful in every single way. And what happens is often that you do not see your greatness because you have certain, levels of self-worth. You see yourself in a lower light. You see yourself compared to other people. And you might see your reality as something not very special, not something very, powerful. And then you judge who you are in relation to your reality. And you might see yourself as lesser than and not powerful. But you are all highly advanced beings here. It's just you have forgotten your power. And to discover your power is on the other side of fear. It is about pushing past the fear. So when you are triggered, take a moment and just acknowledge that this is for you, that this is a game, and then you have reached a certain level because you're ready to go further. It is an achievement, right? It is for you. If you can be there in the moment, even if you cannot see the limiting belief in the moment, take note that this is for you, and that whether it's a condition or a person, they are becoming a teacher for you out of love, a loving teacher, whether they are conscious of it or not, it does not matter. And once you can take that perspective and take that from a perspective of love and acceptance and gratitude, your vibration will naturally increase and you will receive more clarity, whether it's in that moment or sometime after when you look back on that. You will be able to gain that clarity on what your limiting belief is. Usually it's a judgment. Are you judging something as wrong or right? Or are you trying to control others or the conditions in your reality? Usually it's this control and this judgment that causes suffering in our life. If we can learn to let go of the conditions, let go of control, and allow yourself to be shown where to go by the universe, by your higher self, you'll be able to discover your life purpose. You'll be able to live more in love and joy, in alignment with your inner self, higher self, your soul self. It's a process of unlearning, and it's a process of seeing who you are is divine and everyone in your life. Often what happens is As you know, we're in a time of great awakening, and there are masses in our society that are now waking up. And as we awaken, as we start to search behind our physical reality, we start to question our reality. But if you have not addressed the fear, if you have not done the inner work, what happens is that often you are attached to duality, the fear and love, the wrong or right, evil and good. This can be common, and it is a common phase. And know that this is not a permanent phase. It's just you exploring different dimensions of the human experience. But once you do the inner work, once you look at your own limiting beliefs, know that everything that happens in your reality is for you, and there is a higher purpose for everything. Even if you do not know the full picture of that, you will naturally transmute the fear, and you will naturally be able to manage every time you are triggered, every time you experience a condition that you do not prefer, right? It is all for you. And then by doing this inner work, this shadow work, you start to manifest a reality that is aligned to your vibration. If you're in alignment of unconditional acceptance, which is love, your reality will reflect that. Things will shift in your reality, not because you are controlling the conditions, because you have changed your vibration by changing your perspectives. This is the law of attraction. There are many universal laws coming into play, and it's about seeing, yes, we do live in an illusion of physical reality, but it is actually for us. There is no matrix, there is no prism. We are free in every single way. It is only in a perception, it's only an attachment to fear where we experience and perceive life through this distorted lens. But this distorted lens was actually for us. It's for us. We chose to explore life, seeing reality through a distorted lens and forgetting who we truly are. We wanted to experience life through polarity. We wanted to be catalyzed, to allow us to remember who we are, because it's in this being catalyzed, this polarity of fear and love, it creates waves of consciousness. It creates so much expansion that we can't actually fully comprehend as humans. But it's a process where we get to create realities, co-create realities with the universe. And we're actually able to experience the realities that we co-created. We get to experience and be consciously aware of our creations and be consciously aware of our life purpose and missions here. It is through this work. It is through doing the inner journey. It is through being aware of your teachers in every format, whether they are presented physically in front of you or through physical conditions, or it is through the pure metaphysical, non-physical realms. You have many teachers here for you, and it is all non-physical, working through physical reality that is aligned to your belief systems, where you receive the guidance. Guidance is always there for you. In higher truth and oneness, it is all you guiding you. It's just that because of your belief systems, the guidance will come to you in a way that you will take notice. So look at your belief systems and widen your perceptions, your beliefs about how the guidance can come to you. It comes in many different forms. And by doing that, you will need to live more in the present moment, and you will need to expand your senses so you can be aware when the guidance comes to you. And if you can let go of the control, raise your vibration by working on your limiting beliefs and your fears, you'll be more easily able to tap into the guidance available to you, whether it is pure non-physical guidance or whether it is non-physical, working through the physical realms, through certain conditions that trigger you or through physical people in your life. You are all connected. You are all in this together. We are all in this together. We are all playing roles to assist us to evolve our consciousness, to remember that we are already evolved, to remember we are enlightened. And yes, this goes for all the people that you see that are unawakened. You may perceive certain people as bad people, evil people. But all these people are also enlightened. They are also highly advanced, and they are also beings of love. All of you are. It's just they are playing certain roles for you and for the collective to propel us forward into remembering the truth that we are all source manifested, the truth that we are all divine beings. This is a game, this physical reality, and it's to assist us to remember who we are, to expand source, to expand the universe and all that is. This game's supposed to be enjoyable. It's supposed to be fun. And once you can explore more of the joyous aspects in your life, it'll also lessen the experience of fear. You know, fear is just one part of our reality. And as we do our inner soul work, this fear becomes lessened to such a point where it just becomes a mere annoyance. You are able to then be able, if you are triggered in the moment, you'll be able to process that in the moment when you do your work. If you can't process that in the moment, then do it when you can. Once you can do that, you will experience freedom in every single aspect of your life, because then you won't be scared to push past fear. And yes, when you receive guidance and inspiration to take an action, if it involves you stepping past your comfort zone, then yes, some fear will come up because there is a fear of the unknown. But if you can push past that fear and know that it is for you, then you rise your vibration, increase your vibration even more. And again, you'll start to remember more of who you are, that you are powerful and that you are limitless. This is all an internal journey here. All our reality, all others in your reality are reflections to the dimension you exist in, the vibrational dimension you exist in. We are multidimensional beings. So you get to experience your reality depending on your perspectives. Do you choose to experience life and reality in fear or loving acceptance, in unconditional love? Yes, you can reflect a reality that aligns to this love state that you are, but you have to be willing to face the fear, to work through the fear, and then embrace it and be friends with it. And as you do that, you'll become more sensitized to all the teachers in your life, both physical and non-physical. And you will start to remember for yourself that everything is happening for you and that all others in your life are lovingly assisting you in all different forms. Reality becomes your friend in every way. And then you'll realize and you'll start to know for yourself that reality is assisting you. And then you'll start to embrace more of your life, live more of your life. And this is why we are here. So friends, thank you for watching today. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next week. Love and light. Farewell.